Hey, good morning, or good evening, afternoon, wherever the heck you are in the world. It's morning here in the northeast of Scotland, and it's raining. We've got a thunderstorm coming, but hey ho. So, flus and coughs and everything that have been lingering have meant I've been quite as on it with getting the videos out that I wanted to in terms of the numbers and stuff. But I'm getting there. What I wanted to talk about today really was. Um, a little bit of tabletop role playing news. I've mentioned before, particularly if you looked at the website or if you know me, you will know that my passions in terms of nerdom, geekdom, or whatever, are foreign beyond anything. Particularly TTRPGs, tabletop role playing. So I thought what I would do is actually give just a little bit of news today. A couple of things, maybe two or three things that have come my way this week. I know that they won't include everything, so if you're out there going, you forgot to mention this, or you didn't say that, you didn't talk about this, it's really important, well, let me know. Put it in the comments, send me a message, say, look, talk about this next time, or don't talk about this next time, whatever you want. So I've got two or three little bit pieces that I really wanted to kind of just sort of bring your way. Some one particular piece you will know about, or if particularly if you're into role playing, if you're into tabletop role playing, you'll have heard of one of these things that happened this week. And there's a couple of other things that I kind of just wanted to kind of briefly kind of dip my toe into. So what I'm going to talk about two or three things. I'm going to talk about Dragonbane. Well, there's a new Kickstarter that came out. I was looking through one of the Facebook groups this week, and there's a an expansion Kickstarter that's got about 10, 11 days to go. It just caught my eye. It looks great. I love Dragonbane. I'm going to talk a little about Dragonbane. I don't know why I'm laughing because it's well, I do know why I'm laughing because Dragonbane. If you haven't ever played Dragonbane, let me have a look. Oh, I've got them here. So I've got, and I'll just give you a brief look here. The link is on the side of my desk. It's going to go on. So I've got the Dragonbane rule book, bestiary, these beautiful things here. Can we see them? There we go. We've got Path of Glory, which is a expansion campaign, really good. And I've also got the starter set here. Now, I've played Dragonbane. It's great. Yes, there are mallards involved in Dragonbane. I'm going to talk a little bit about Dragonbane in it. Well, if you haven't played Dragonbane before, it's a it's I think it's historically Sweden's biggest ever tabletop game. And originally called, now I'm going to mess with the pronunciation, so if I get this wrong for anybody of a Swedish orientation, but anybody in terms of pronunciation, it was originally called Drakar och Demona. Probably way off, I'm really sorry. It was Scandinavia's biggest ever RPG. Launched back in 1982. And it was kind of the biggest thing. It was bigger than D&D, probably still is in Scandinavia, and it was relaunched a few years ago by Free League Publishing. Free League Publishing, a little bit of a heads up, provided me with material some time ago for that I've just shown you with the books and the starter set. So Free League Publishing, quite possibly along with a couple of others, I'll mention them, Chaosium and Paizo, probably the three of the best TTRPG publishers to deal with in terms of help and communication. Absolutely brilliant. Chaosium, Free League, and Paizo, probably the three best. And there are many others that are really, really good, but they're probably the three of the best. And Dragonbane, it's a D20 system. It's quite easy to learn. I found it quite easy to learn, and I hadn't been playing for TTRPGs for a while when I came back to Dragonbane. And it's fast-paced fantasy, and also as well, it's a game where you can take seriously, but you don't have to. Like I say, you can play a mallard. So what I'm going to do is show you. Excuse me. I'm going to show you the Kickstarter that kind of came my way this week, and you can have a look. I'll put some links down below for links to Free League and to links to Dragonbane or via Drive-Through RPG. Again, heads up, I do have affiliate status with Drive-Through RPG. So any links, if you click on them and decide to order something, I get a tiny bit, and it is a small amount, but it's okay, and a small amount, a percentage in terms of what you pay. It doesn't cost you any more to go through drive-through RPG. Those guys are really good. Like I say, anything that's bought with my affiliate status, I get a small percentage, like 5% or something, or whatever. So if that'd be great if you could. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's entirely your choice. But all the links are below. So let's have a look at the Kickstarter, and I'll just guide you through some of the things that caught my eye with this Dragonbane Kickstarter. Okay, let's go to the screen. Okay, so we talked a little bit about Dragonbane, give you a little bit of an overview of the crazy, brilliant, fabulous game that it is. This is a Kickstarter that I was talking about. Winter Ravages. I am not going to try and bastardize again the Swedish language by trying to pronounce these. So apologies for those if I don't even bother, because I'm not, like I say, I'll make a mess. The Kickstarter itself has got about 11 days to go. As you can see, it's doing pretty well already. Winter Ravages, an exciting Windham adventure for Dragonbane. If you go to the link, and again I'll put the link in the description box below. This looks great. And again, I've had no freebies for this. This is just something that caught my eye that I really, really want to talk about. It essentially, let's have a look at this. After a long day travelling in biting autumn winds, you arrive at Harvestville, a sleepy rural village. You get rooms at a local inn called the Golden Sprout, where the warmth from the common room's hearth feels like a gift from the gods. During the following night, a ravaging snowstorm descends on the village. From the northern mountains, as you wake up, you find metre-thick snow covering the landscape. Excuse me, without the cough. Winter storms are not uncommon in these parts, but snow coming this early and sudden has never happened before. If you scroll down a bit, go to the end bit here. Being strangers in Harvestville, you start to get many suspicious glances from the villagers. Did you bring this devastation upon them? Is the village now under a curse that can be lifted through your deaths? This looks great. It looks so cool. Winter Ravages is an exciting Windham adventure for Dragonbane. First published in Swedish in the RPG magazine Phoenix. In December of 2024. Now you can get the PDF of it either in English or Swedish or both. If you really want to mess the Swedish language up like I do, get both. And it's what I like about this. It's the setting is 100% independent. In other words, whether or not you play Dragonbane in this setting or any other world setting, you could apply this to either. And it's got the usual sort of, the artwork is just stunning. I mean, look at this. Absolutely stunning. There are a number of stretch goals in terms of add-ons that you can get, previous sort of releases that you can get that go with it as well. But the artwork, man, is just gorgeous. And you've got then your usual sort of pledges that you can make as well. I think it has them in Swedish and English as well. You can get the options as well. Yeah, it's got some pound stuff down here for us Brits, but it will have other variations as well. I haven't really sort of done too much in terms of communication with these guys, Nordic Scades. It's a new Swedish company creating, publishing of role-playing products. And so these guys are, it looks like they're pretty new, pretty recent. I've briefly spoke to them earlier in the week when I said, I think I might put it on the website or the channel, and they went, thank you, and that was it. So I've had no freebies from this, nothing that's so, oh yeah, talk about this and we'll give you something free. Doesn't mean to say that they don't have to. If they see this and go, actually, let's give him something free, I wouldn't say no. But as I say, I will probably get in hold of this one way or the other. Whether or not I have to break open my wallet and go in and have a look myself, then probably I may well do. So have a look at this. Like I say, the link is in the description below. It looks great. It looks really cool. And like I say, if you get the chance to look at Dragonbane, if nothing else for the art, The guy's name has gone now. I knew this would happen. I should have wrote it down. I meant to, and I haven't got it here. Totally professional. But the guy that does the art for the Free League, this is obviously published by Free League as a whole, is Dragonbane. I mentioned that earlier. But the guy that did the artwork for Vassen, another Scandinavian RPG, which is stunning, a kind of horror themed, supernaturally ish themed, but certainly horror themed RPG. The Swedish stuff, the Dragonbane's absolutely gorgeous. The artwork is absolutely stunning. And like I say, Dragonbane, one of the things I love about Dragonbane is you can be as light-hearted or serious as you want to in this. It's got the ability to kind of go any which way but loose, as it were. So check this out. Have a look at the Kickstarter. I would highly recommend it. Okay. The second thing, looking at my teeth in. The second thing that I was going to mention today is some news that came through that caught my eye. So the second thing that I wanted to sort of talk about today was just a little piece of news that's kind of hit the TTRPG world with the kind of relaunch, reintroduction, updating, whatever, of a system from Chaosium. And they released the QuestWorlds self-contained kind of role-playing system. And I want to talk a little bit about that because, like I mentioned before, Chaosium, fine company, Call of Cthulhu, RuneQuest, Seventh Sea, 3 great games. Cthulhu is absolutely obsessed with Cthulhu, always have been, probably always will be. And so the Chaosium news this week that this new update, or it's kind of re-update of this role-playing system, had been brought to, had been published, and it was there, and there's a copy on, again, drive-through. I'm not doing the hard sell. It's just easier for me to show you the information. So let's have a look at the quick start. The QuestWorlds RPG, and give you a bit of an idea if you haven't seen it. I'm sure many of you have. With some of the things that are available for this. Let's go to the screen. So let's have a look at the QuestWorlds stuff. So I've got hopefully you can see the screen here. You can see I've got the drive-through RPG page open at the moment, where I've got right here QuestWorlds. Let's have a click on this. So as I mentioned, QuestWorlds, I think it originated back in 2000. It's gone under a number of names. Hero Wars, I think it was originally titled, and then Hero Quest, I think it was called, then the Hero Quest RPG. There have been a number of sort of differences in terms of change in ownership. I think Hasbro took it over in 2020-ish, and then QuestWorlds was renamed, rebranded, and released back in 2020. And now the thing has been updated again, and it came out just this week. What I'm going to do is show you, hopefully we can open it up here. So they're very kindly, Chaosium, the wonderful people at Chaosium. Well, let's have a look, just look at some of the basic details first. So 340 pages, not bad. At the moment, what's it going for? $19.99. What's that in proper money? I should have converted it. I could if I logged in, but I'm not going to. I'm not giving you my login details. So about $20-ish for this. You've got information here in terms of the art. They're very good, Chaosium. I know that it's a controversial subject in terms of the AI issue in terms of artwork and that sort of thing. Chaosium are very much in the sort of the stable of this should be human created work, not AI. Which there are pros and cons to both sides of the argument. I would like to think in most arguments, well, some arguments anyway. So Chaosium have put this on RPG, on drive-through RPG. It's available at the moment, I think, just in PDF. I believe it will be available. I could be talking out of turn here, but I think later in 2025 there will be physical copies for this, and I believe as well, if you go through either this or the Chaosium site, and I'll make the Chaosium link available as well, that if you get the PDF, then I think it gives you a reduction potentially on the physical thing that will be reduced later this year. I'm old school. I like my physical copies of stuff. PDFs are fine. PDFs are great, but I like my physical copies as well. So they've handily put a little preview on here. So let's have a look. So if you look through you've got about sort of 10-20 pages of preview on here. Gives you a little bit of background to the game itself, or to the role-playing system. No other books, as far as I'm aware, are required to play. It's a rules-like complete system, and what it is really, really good for, I think it's exceptional. I've played it a little bit myself, and it's really good for adapting things like movies, TV series, TV shows. The rules are straightforward, but they're really, really flexible. So if you fancy, I don't know, adapting, some particular TV program, Sandman, well, just popped into my head, then that could easily be done with this rule system, and also as well. The mechanics are really impressive in terms of adapting them to other systems. Maybe D&D, maybe other kind of fantasy games, but not just fantasy, horror-themed games as well. The keyword system streamlines character creation. It's really easy to create characters. It's really versatile. It's really adaptable. And it kind of encourages this system a narrative driven approach to gameplay, so it gives you a huge amount of structure to sort of change and engage in a kind of dynamic sense, and also as well, this, I think now what this is going to lead to is a whole range of different systems that would suit this. So again, I'm going to go through this pretty quickly, but it gives you a few sort of ideas in terms of how to use it, what some of the basic rules are, a couple of examples here. And also as well, this is really good, in terms of how these can be adapted to other systems or other games or other adaptations, as it were. And it's got a little bit here in terms of how you play as well. So Chaosium released this last week, as I say. I think it was earlier this week, or so early last week. Looks really good. The artwork, let's have a look at some of this. Well, let me enlarge that. No, it won't. The artwork is gorgeous. The system as well, I think it's a really elegant rule system. This simple core mechanic and optional rules are there to kind of help you customize your game to suit whatever you want to do. And again, I haven't had anything from Chaosium in terms of this. They've been kind enough to send me things in the past. But in terms of this, I'll put the drive-through RPG link on. But as I mentioned before, I have affiliate status. I would get a 10% of any clicks on there, but that's it. They have not asked me to put this little piece out. It's something that I really, really wanted to talk about. So that's QuestWorlds. Looks great. I'm going to get the physical copy, definitely. I'm going to get the PDF as well. And I'll probably give a proper review then in a few weeks' time. So the final thing that I wanted to talk about today is the release this week, which has been, I think it's fair to say it's been controversial. I think it's fair to say that there are people that love this release. I think it's fair to say there are people that hate this release. Would I go as far as that? Well, possibly. I know it's a weird world these days where people online tend to either love or hate something, that in between thing, a bit of nuance. God, that seems to have gone out the window in recent years. But anyway, so this beauty came to me this week. The Dungeons and Dragons Monster Manual. I love my D&D. I do love my D&D. I know that a lot of people, maybe if anybody's watching this, who is an avid D&D player. I've been to D&D, as you can tell, be it quite a few years. I didn't get into it straight away back in the late 70s or 80s. it was probably around about 84, 85, I think. It's a bit hazy um, in terms of when D&D became a thing for me. But when it became a thing, it became a thing. And I know that 5th edition, from 2014 onwards, has been a bit controversial. I know that there are so many people that still play the older original versions, and great, absolutely fine. I know that when I put this out on one of my socials a couple of weeks ago that I was looking forward to get the Monster Manual, a couple of people messaging me saying, "Don't bother." I was like, "Well, thanks, but I think about it, because I'm quite excited about this." And I was excited to get this. My group that I've had since when did we start playing now, guys? About November last year, I think. I think it was about October, November last year. And we use the 2024 rules because when we started playing, the new player handbook had just come out, I think. And the DM guide came out around about November, I think. Again, here's a bit, those came out. And I wanted to play the 2024 because I looked at some of the updates. I looked at some of the the redesign of the books, and I must admit, I quite like it. And I know there'll be many people out there going, "You're wrong." Well, fine. It's absolutely your choice. And like I say, when this came the other day, I've read through a number of these. What have we got in here? This revised, let me read it, just in case. The revised and expanded Monster Manual contains a horde of creatures. For the 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons game, a monstrous menagerie of familiar favourites like dragons, giants, mind flayers, plus a host of new monsters in here. I think we've got something like 500 plus monsters in here. Some new, some updated. And yes, I know there has been a little bit of controversy this week, in the last couple of weeks, in terms of some of the things that are now no longer included. The sort of removal potentially of the orcs as a monster. The law, some of the law may be changing or at least being amended as well. I'll say this: I bought this book. I did not have it sent to me by Wizards of the Coast. I'm not affiliated with Wizards of the Coast. I have found them slightly difficult to sort of deal with. Not they're not nice or anything, but getting replies back and stuff. They're a big, huge company. I appreciate that, and I'm a small fish, as it were. So there are probably issues with thinking that guy from northeast of Scotland. Who cares? We'll deal with other people, and that's okay. That's fine. So I bought this. I bought all the other books as well. And there's a lot of controversy out there. If you go online, if you go on YouTube, and you'll see the latest controversy with D&D, the latest controversy with Wizards of the Coast, what they've done now, this is going to shock you and all this stuff. And I've got to admit, a lot of the stuff that they've done when we had the license problem a couple of years ago and everything, not handled well at all. And I say to people, look, if you don't want to play the 2024, excuse me, 2024 rules, then fine. That's okay. If you want to, do what I've done and go over to 2024, because I personally think the new player's handbook, the Monster Manual, particularly the DM guide, I was a little bit, maybe slightly disappointed with, but the other two, I think the redesign, the artwork's fabulous. And you can play what you want. You can use what you want. So for me, it's been. I've loved it, and I think this little beauty is a little beauty. I've been looking through for my group. So in terms of my group, so let's go with the characters' names. Let's keep them anonymous to a certain degree. So we've got Daps, Durin, my two dwarfs. There's a couple of monsters in here that are gonna get you. I think might give you a little bit of a run for your money. We've got a couple of humans as well. So we've got Heavy Wit. Thank you, Connor, for I said your name now. For the name that I never pronounce correctly. I always call him Heavy Wit. Heavy Wit is my character, his character, his cleric. Want something in here that might be after you. We've got I'm gonna remember, forget them all now. We've got Charles's character, who's gone, barbarian, human, Salrak. I knew I'd get it. Salrak. And we've got Logan, the fighter, soldier type thing as well. Again, be careful. I'm starting to come up with one or two little ideas about how we're going to, I don't know, kill you maybe. I love my group. My group's great. And you know they're quite new to D&D, and their role playing has been brilliant, really good. And we're partway into a particular campaign, well, the first one that we've actually run. And as I say, now it's going to get, now that it's second level, I've been easy so far. We're gonna have some fun. We play this Friday. We're gonna have some fun. And there's a couple coming out of there. So yeah, you know, it's. I'm going to do a proper review in the next few weeks. This is really only kind of a basic introduction now. So if you're thinking, well, that's not really much of a deep dive, well, it's not meant to be. It's just a little bit of a kind of just kind of little flavour. But like I say, you know, I know it's controversial. I know that many people hate what Wizards of the Coast do, and I'm not a great fan of this kind of whole conglomerate sort of approach to TTRPGs. I really prefer the kind of more easy, small publishers, and I don't mean that in any kind of disparaging way. You know, people like Chaosium, Free League, you know, a number of other Pies are great. Pies are big in terms of Pathfinder, Starfinder, all that stuff. Really good to deal with, really quick to get back to for inquiries when I'm going, can I have something free and that sort of thing. So they're really good. So I hope you enjoyed the sort of video today. I just want to give you a little flavour of these two or three things. I know, like I say, I've probably forgotten, in your eyes, maybe, to mention one or two things. It was just a time factor. I just wanted to talk about these two or three things. Please remember to hit all this stuff, this like, subscribe, comment, you know, boost the algorithm. We want to kind of build this up. I eventually want to do kind of live streams where people can come on and talk and tell me how wrong I am to my face, or at least in chat and stuff. That'd be great. Like I say, links to all the stuff that I've talked about will be in the description below. And a reminder again, I do have affiliate status to Drive Through RPGs, so any clicks on those gives me that small sort of percentage. Take care, everybody, and hope you have a great week. Okay, bye bye.